Anita's life had slipped into a monotony so familiar, she could move through it without thinking. Each morning, she rose early, made breakfast for her husband, and watched him leave without so much as meeting her gaze. The silence that followed was heavy, almost oppressive. Their home, once vibrant with laughter and conversation, now echoed with absence, a hollow reminder of what used to be. She often sat by the window with a cup of tea, watching life pass her by. Though still young, she felt invisible. Her husband, who had once been attentive and affectionate, now lived in a world consumed by work meetings, emails, schedules. The conversations between them had dwindled to the essentials: bills, groceries, daily logistics. Intimacy had faded into routine, and routine had bred distance. Their son, now in his 20s, had his own life and barely noticed the sadness that hid behind her practiced smiles. She didn't resent him, it was only natural for children to grow up and move on. But somewhere along the way, she had lost herself. Her days blurred together, cooking, cleaning, flipping through novels that barely held her attention. Sometimes she'd look at old photos of a woman with laughter in her eyes, dreams in her heart. That woman now felt like a stranger. Then came Rohit. He had been her son's closest friend for years, often dropping by. He was kind, charming, and unlike most, truly listened. He noticed small things when she changed the curtains, cut her hair, spoke passionately about art. At first, his presence was simply refreshing, a welcome break from the silence. She found herself anticipating his visits, enjoying their conversations over coffee. He brought life back into the house with his warmth and laughter. One evening, as she set out snacks, Rohit looked around and said, "Auntie, your home is so peaceful. I love being here." She smiled, but the words stirred something deep. Was it peaceful or just silent? Was she content, or simply numb? Their chats became more frequent. A casual, "How are you?" from him carried more weight than she admitted, even to herself. She found comfort in the way he saw her, not as a mother or a wife, but as a person. She began to feel a spark when he stood too close, or touched her hand while showing something on his phone. Guilt lingered at the edges, reminding her she was married and he was much younger. But still, something had begun to shift. One afternoon, as she poured tea, their fingers brushed. Just a fleeting moment, but it sent a charge through her. When their eyes met, it was only for a second, but something passed between them. That night, lying next to her husband, she couldn't stop thinking about Rohit. The laughter, the shared glances, the feeling of being seen. Had she crossed a line already, even if only in her mind? She kept telling herself it was harmless. Just a little attention after years of being overlooked, but deep down, she knew the truth. She began dressing with more care, nothing drastic, just subtle changes. A brighter sari, a bit of color on her lips. She told herself it was for her. But she couldn't deny she wanted to be noticed by him. Their conversations grew more personal. He shared his struggles, his dreams, his heartbreaks. And in return, she opened up to something she hadn't done in years. One night, he said softly, "You know, Annie, some people just get you without trying." She looked away, heart pounding. His words were gentle, but the feelings they stirred were not. One day, as they flipped through an old photo album, their hands touched again. It felt electric, real. That night, she couldn't sleep. This wasn't just about loneliness anymore, it had become something deeper, more dangerous. The connection between them grew stronger, though neither of them ever spoke it aloud. Every look, every word, carried tension. One rainy evening, Rohit arrived, soaked. As she handed him a towel, her fingers brushed his wrist, and time seemed to pause. Their eyes met and neither of them stepped away. He reached for her hand. She could have pulled back. She should have, but she didn't. Their first kiss was tentative, a whisper of a touch, asking a question they both knew the answer to. The second kiss came deeper, and in that moment, she felt alive, wanted, seen, but guilt followed swiftly. She pulled away, breathless. "This is wrong," she whispered. He didn't argue, only nodded, his eyes filled with something that looked a lot like honesty. In the days that followed, she avoided him. She told herself it had been a mistake. But she couldn't forget how he made her feel. When he came over again, she didn't stop him. This time, she let go. The passion was fierce, consuming. For the first time in years, she felt alive. But morning brought reality. Sitting at the edge of the bed, she stared at the floor, her thoughts heavy. Rohit lay beside her, but everything had changed. She wrapped a shawl around herself like armor. This had gone too far. When he reached for her, she stepped away. "We shouldn't have done this," she said quietly. He agreed, but neither of them truly regretted it. After that, things shifted. Rohit still visited, but their words were fewer, their glances more cautious. The weight of what they'd shared lingered unspoken. One evening, as he left, he turned and asked, "Are you happy?" She paused, then answered honestly, "I don't know." He nodded, as if he understood, and walked away. As Anita closed the door, a realization hit her. She had been searching for someone to bring her back to life, but maybe she had been looking in the wrong places. Maybe, just maybe, what she needed had to come from within, and whatever came next, she would face it on her own.